Do you think that someone has used the Bikies rumour to divert police?
It's a convenient scapegoat. Bikie gangs, Sash and the rebels out at, Bargo, they've got a reputation.
The gossip was rampant about whatever she was doing, who she knew. You can imagine it in a small community, it's amplified.
I heard someone say that she was dealing drugs for the rebels and she ripped them off.
That's just totally out of her personality. These are some red herrings now being thrown into the brief,
There was a vicious rumour that started pretty early on that Rachelle was involved with Bikies. I think the small town rumour mill really went into overdrive, and that didn't help the police at all.
I think it was about 1 year after the death occurred, I was asked to undertake an intelligence review and assist the local police who were leading the investigation. My initial concern was after a year, a homicide investigation generally does not have 5 or 6 persons of interest, usually 1, 2. We had an outlaw motorcycle group, also listed as a group of persons of interest.
We do know country towns. Bikies, especially some of the lower members, they make their money selling dope. And so there were those rumours that she could have been involved with the bikie member or just knew some of them, which it'd be hard not to, I suppose. If you're a young person, there'd probably only be a pub or 2 in town.
They're an easy target to point the finger at, and it's an interesting story. I can tell you for free, she was lucky to put more than $5 at a time in her tank at the petrol station. She was broke. And if she was dealing drugs, she was very bad at it because she had no money. And she didn't take drugs either, so.
Good morning. You ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready. You bring heaps of cash?
I did bring me.
Hello. You ready for your teddy? Ready for some pain?
Always.
All right.
Sash was a senior member of the Rebels Bikie gang back in 2001, the Bargo chapter, and that's where Rachelle lived. But he also had a car yard in town, and he used to deal a little bit with Rachelle through her car yard that she worked, and they used to wheel and deal parts, apparently.
It was mainly phone calls. Like, if the car comes, the car comes. It was like early stages of it too. But she never, ever left the clubhouse. Never was there, ever.
Sash had called Camden Holden and asked for Rachelle just minutes before she was seen for the last time. So it put him on the police radar very early.
It's the people out there that think they're actually saying you've done a horrible thing. But it's not me. It's not me. But it's also embarrassing. And here I am. I've got a car in a local area, a pretty large car. I was on TV, publicised the Saturday, don't buy trash, see Sash and save cash and all that sort of stuff. And it was hard. It was hard. And everywhere you walked, and then you started hearing about people saying this about you and saying that about you and saying you've done this and you've done that. You think, how do you get this shit? How does this come to, blame on me? What, because I'm in a bike club? I'm killing people, especially a woman. Like, come on. And over money? Please.
Whoever killed Rachelle Childs 2 years ago has presumably kept the secret to himself. But soon that secret may be out after police today began a major DNA testing program in the Southern Highlands town of Bargo. It's the first time in Australia that such screening has been used to solve a murder.
Well, the Bikies were surprisingly very open with police and invited them down to the clubhouse, let them access their security video, and also volunteered their DNA. And the police were shocked.
The old school ones, they would never, ever talk to the cops ever. But the newer ones, they don't want their business interrupted. So we did a bit of work and talking to them saying, come and get your hot chapter in, get some samples, got nothing to hide, we won't be on your case, we can eliminate you. But the fact they came forward, I think every member that was at the chapter on the night, they've got their sample. It also reaffirmed my thought that this is a red herring placed by someone.
In the end, it was Sash's signature on a credit card receipt from a Chinese restaurant and witnesses that confirmed his alibi. there wasn't any further evidence to connect him to the crime. After an exhaustive police investigation, Sash was ruled out.
It was so frustrating because it just led them down the wrong path and they wasted so much time, and then New South Wales Police ripped all their resources away from them, dismantled the strike force, and then it just was down to 2 detectives.
Is there any evidence that you've seen that Rachelle was involved in drugs?
No.
Or the bikies?
No. No, none at all. There's some lies here, isn't there?